Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I still want, Mr. Speaker, to clarify the issues that the minority leader has raised concerning Section 162 of the Constitution and Section 80. I have said initially that the amendment is predicated on the combined effects, Mr. Speaker, of Section 1621, 1623, and 1610, and also Section 80, sub 1. And in this, Mr. Speaker, it is necessary for us to understand the rendition of Section 1621 and Section 81. Mr. Speaker, if you permit, I would want to read from the Constitution for purpose of clarity, so that we let me say Section 162 sub 1 says the Federation shall maintain a special account to be called the Federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the government of the Federation. And revenue is defined, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, in subsection 10 of 162. It says, for the purpose of subsection 1 of this section, revenue means any income or return accruing to or derived by the government of the Federation from any source, and includes, I take sub A, any receipt howsoever described, arising from the operation of any law, and the commission is established by law. And because it is established by law, the Constitution says the receipt from such a commission shall be paid into the Federation account. Now, if you take section 80 of the Constitution, so that we clearly understand, honorable colleagues, the point that the minority leader has raised, in Section 80, I read, Mr. Speaker, all revenues or other monies raised or received by the Federation, it didn't say the federal government, it is still referring to the Federation. And by the interpretation clause in our Constitution, Federation means the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It means the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, honorable colleagues, the point that I've raised in this place is that distinguishing between the Federation account, into which all revenues ought to be paid to, and to insist that this agency and other agencies of the state, of the government, should pay such revenues into the Federation account. And the Federation account, no money can be withdrawn from the Federation account except it is transferred into the Consolidated Revenue account, as it is provided for in Section 167 of the Constitution. So before monies can be withdrawn from the Federation account, it has to go into the Consolidated Revenue account of the Federation. So it is for the remittance of money that the law has provided that such monies and revenue be remitted into the Federation account. And that remittance is to enable the Revenue Allocation and Fiscal Commission to monitor, as it is provided for in the powers of the Commission in the Constitution. However, after this clarification, I want to say I submit to the collective reasoning of this House on this very important bill, so that the government of the Federation that expends so much should also be seen to be generating and remitting into the Federation account. Mr. Speaker, I so move, and I will rather to be further guided by our collective reasoning on this matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Government. It says all revenues or other monies raised or received by the Federation, not being, there's an exemption there that I want us to note. It said not being revenues or other monies payable under this Constitution or any act of the National Assembly into any other public fund of the Federation established for a specific purpose shall be paid into and form one consolidated revenue fund of the Federation. So it means that there's even an exemption. Now, under the principle of the power of the purse, there are two principles established. What is known as the public fix, which means all federal receipts should be paid into the consolidated revenue fund. And then the principle of appropriations control, which is defined in section 80, subsection 2 of the Constitution, which specifically says that all such monies are subject to appropriation. Now, there's equally a third principle that says appropriation by National Assembly or Congress or legislature, as the case may be, can be done by way of law. And where Parliament has decided that a particular agency of government can retain a substantial portion of its revenue for the purposes of its operations. It occurs in all climes. All such provisions in the law that are duly elected by parliaments are regarded as permanent appropriations until they are revoked. That is the third principle of appropriation control. So I've had the discussion that no, all revenues must be paid. If they are not paid, the Constitution is violated. But the Constitution itself specifically makes exemptions. A lot of people don't dwell on that exemption that is inbuilt in the provisions of section 80 subsection 1 of the Constitution. However, the sponsor of the bill has requested that he wants to talk to us again, so I will want to yield the floor to him.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable I.D. Gyang, and I want to, before I make a further submission, congratulate the Right Honorable Speaker on the confirmed and also to say that in view of the fact that this commission is an investment promotion commission, I will bring this amendment to cover other more revenue generation agencies in subsequent bills. But on this one, I would want to step this one down so that we take it up through other amendments that are coming up to the House. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Bill stepped down by leave of the House. The second order